Hey, welcome back. Look, what are we doing here? I've got notes and I have bourbons everywhere. It's a special night, okay? I'm replacing a normal Thursday night bourbon review to bring you some inside information on what to get a bourbon lover for Christmas. And we'll get to it right after this. All right, before we get started, I have some caveats to go through, so let's get those out of the way. First off, prices are going to vary by geographic location. I cannot guarantee these prices where you live. They could be more, they could actually be a little less. I tried to look at an average of reasonable places, looked on some websites of what they would, selling it for, and I would come up with a number, an average number for this bourbon, and I would either round it up or down to the nearest $5, okay? So that's the first caveat. Also, all of these prices are based on 750 milliliter bottles. That's what these are. So each one of these is 750 milliliter. That's your standard bar bottle, all right? I'm presenting these based on sipping neat. If someone likes their bourbon over ice, I don't think I would spend $150 a bottle, okay? So just saying, if they're not gonna drink it neat, you might as well not go overboard with it. Now, let's get into it. I also have this broken down by categories. The first category is on a strict budget, okay? You're young, you don't make a lot of money a year, you just had to put tires on your car or something, and you don't have a lot of coin left. Now, these bourbons are gonna range from $20 as the low end to $40 as the high end, okay? And then I have one here that's a more moderate budget, which, like I said, I rounded up and down by $5. So this is the 45 through 60, I believe, range, right in there. Then the next category is I've been saving up a bit, okay? So you want to go ahead and now these are above $60, but below 100, okay? So you're into your Bookers and stuff like that. Then I have a few picks here that is, because I call this video What to Get Dad. Now this can be for anybody. It can be for a friend, it could be for an uncle, it could be for your boss, whatever. These are great bourbons as gifts. But this one I titled, I Love My Dad This Much, so if you really want to go overboard with it, and they are a bourbon lover, I will give you 4 picks there. The last one is I burn money to light my cigars, and I don't even give you anything off that, right? What I say there is good luck finding them. If you want to spend that kind of cash, look for the lock cases in every liquor store within a 50-mile radius and burn that plastic, okay? If you want to do that, go for it. But most of the coveted ones in that range are going to be thousands, and they're going to be impossible to find. So we're not even going to go there. Now, this channel was based on up to, but not exceeding $100. So my normal bourbon reviews, that's where I put the cap. And I have an issue of anything really over 90 bucks. I have some private stuff, but we don't do that here. So let's get into, I don't have any money, right? I got just a little bit. Okay, let's look at that. I just listed a bunch of bourbons that I think you can get off that middle to low shelf that would please, it could stand up on anyone's shelf, okay? So the first one here is Old Tub. Now this one is unfiltered Kentucky straight bourbon, and it's Beam Distillery, right? So this is Beam Suntory. This one has just really made a mark recently, and I really like it. I think it has good base notes to it, nothing to shy away from. I have an empty bottle, but I don't currently have a bottle because it's hard to find, of regular old Buffalo Trace, right? From Buffalo Trace Distillery. So that's a good one. And the Old Tub goes for around $25. The Buffalo Trace, if you can get it reasonably in the right location, you can get it for 35 bucks, okay? The other one on the list, I have 3 Buffalo Traces, and I have a big bottle of W.L. Weller Special Reserve, but I don't want it crowding the table. $35 for that one. And then Eagle Rare. So this is Buff Trace 2. This is really good, really coveted by a lot of people. And if you're in the right location and you get it for the right price, you can get this for around $35, $40, okay? So this is really, really good bourbon. Then also listed on here as honorable mentions, Elijah Craig by Heaven Hill. Larceny is also Heaven Hill. Those are your, I call them starter bourbons for somebody wanting to really get into notes and enjoying bourbon. Wild Turkey, I threw one in from them. The 101 is in the price range at about 25 bucks. Elijah Craig is usually a little bit higher than Larceny, so 20 and 25 respectively from Larceny to Elijah Craig. But I stumbled across this one and I reviewed it not too long ago. This is one of my new favorites in this low range. This is TX Texas Straight Bourbon, and it is fantastic, okay? And then I have Michter's listed. Now here's the way I ranked these. My first choice, if you're gonna go in this range to buy someone a bottle of bourbon as a gift, this is it right here, if you can find it. Now, if you know someone loves Eagle Rare and they can't find it, get the Michter's, the regular old US one, okay? This is Kentucky Straight Bourbon, Michter's. This goes for about 40 bucks. Similar price to Eagle Rare, similar notes to Eagle Rare. It's sweet, don't worry about it. You know, see if they like it. My second choice is the TX Bourbon. Especially if you're in Texas, get this for your dad if he hasn't tried it yet. I mean, you know, or your uncle or whoever it is. Or get a bottle for yourself because that stuff's good, all right? And you can go back and watch my review on that one. I was totally shocked. So first choice, Eagle Rare. Second choice, now Michter's is a backup to Eagle Rare. It's also tied for first in this range. And then the Firestone and Robertson TX Straight Bourbon. About 40 bucks, tax and all, somewhere along in there, depending on where you are. And then my third choice was Old Tub. Right? Now, let's get into the moderate price bourbons, okay? I've got a little pinch to spend here. I don't want to, you know, get a crappy gift, so let's step it up a bit. Now you're starting to get into more notes. You're starting to get into some deeper stuff here. So on a moderate budget, Wild Turkey, I have 2 Wild Turkeys on here. The first one is Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Okay, it's about 50 bucks. Then the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel, okay, at about 55 bucks. Those are very good. The other one is now we get into Beam Suntory. The Baker's 7 here is a good one, and I like it, and it's $55. Then I listed the Knob Creek 12-year, only if they really like Knob Creek. Right? If you know they really like Knob Creek, go on ahead and get them a 12, right? Throw that in there and see what they think. My personal favorite in this category is Blade and Bow. This is Diageo Blade and Bow. It's not for everybody. I get mixed reviews on it, but if you have a key collector and they'll know what the key is all about, get them the Blade and Bow. It's about 50 bucks. Now, another really good one from Old Forester, which is Brown-Foreman Distillery, is the original batch, the 1870, right? Old Forester, 90 proof. I'm not going to go over all the notes and the proofs on all these, but that's a really good noted bourbon right there. I put also by Brown-Foreman, the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. Again, caveat, if they're a Woodford drinker, right? If you know they like Woodford, get them a bottle of the Woodford Double Oaked. It's just about $5 or $6 more for the Double Oaked, and I think it's worth it. I put a couple of blends on here as honorable mentions. One's Old Elk and the other one's Breckenridge. The problem with that is I don't think they're that much better than, like, say, a couple of these. I think these are actually better, but for what they are as a blend, I think they're just a little overpriced. I think almost all blends are overpriced. It's boutique, you know, is what it is, but you do get a good depth of notes in it. But like I said, honorable mentions, they're about 45 and 50 bucks. All right, in this category, moderate category, here's my picks. First choice for me, this is personal first choice, Blade and Bow, okay? I love this stuff. Lots of notes, good ride on the roller coaster right here for me. I love this stuff. It's not for everybody, all right? My common first choice, I think, you know, people that like a lot of different bourbons and want that depth of notes, Baker's 7, right? 7-year aged Baker's right there. That would be my common first choice. My second choice here, and I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack because there's a lot of Forester lovers out there because I put it behind these two, is the Old Forester Original Batch. I really, really love Old Forester, but I just think the depth of flavors are a little better over here. That's all. I think it's like really close. My third choice on that is Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. And again, like I said, the honorable mentions were the blends. Now, let's go into the I've been saving up category, okay? In that category, I have Beam Suntory, the Bookers, and I left it on the shelf up here because I honestly think it's a little overpriced. Then this is a, oh my gosh, this is a great bourbon right here. This is a Belle Meade Cask Strength Reserve. Now, a lot of these I'm going to be showing you in this category are barrel proofs, cask strength, which means they don't water them down after they bring them out of the barrel. There's a lot that goes into making bourbon and following the laws. There is water added in all mashes, whether before it goes into the barrel or whatever, but they don't dilute it once they bring it out of the barrel. They leave it at the proof it was coming straight out of the barrel. And they can't barrel it at higher than 125 proof. So when you're looking at this Belle Meade, it's 111.12 proof. That just means they put a lower proof in the barrel to start with, but they didn't put any more water in it when it come out. Now, with that said, another one here is the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This is hot new stuff right here. Everyone loves this. I love this. I think it's one of the best all-around bourbons I have on my shelf for sure, right here. Now, this comes in at a whopping 127.2 proof. Again, if you didn't watch the other video, I can tell you by law, it can't go into the barrel higher than 125 proof. However, water soaks into wood faster than alcohol, leaving a higher alcohol content behind, which means they probably barreled this stuff at the max, right around 125 proof, okay? And then they left it to age in the barrel, and it increased in proof because of that. Little honorable mentions. The only reason I'm going to say barrel and barrel, honestly, it's a blend, okay? And again, blends tend to be overpriced anyway. I think barrel is overpriced for what it is, but it's a big name and people recognize it and they see it on the shelf. And if someone's not really into bourbon that much and are dissecting all the different ones and they see that bottle of barrel, they're going to know how much it cost, right? So if you want to just go that route, that's one way to go. But Widow Jane is another one, but it's New York bourbon and there's a lot of bias out there against it, but I think it's really good. I don't care where it's made as long as it's bourbon. Well, it has to be in the United States. That's part of the law, but anyway. Now, my first choice is actually the overall winner for this entire video, and it is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This is batch B520, coming in at 127.2 proof, 63.6% alcohol by volume. This thing will knock your socks off and rock your world right here. Now, in a good way, the depth of flavor, the notes, the balance in this thing is just spot on. Now, of course, it's gonna be a little hotter than some of these other bourbons. I wouldn't do shots of it, but boy, if you just wanna sit around and sip it, that's my #1 pick, not only for this category, but for every category. I think if you can get a whiskey lover, a bourbon lover, a bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, you got a winner right there if you can afford it. It's gonna be about $70, 70 to 75 bucks, somewhere along in there. My second choice, which is a immediate close second, is the Bell Mead. If you can find it, the Bell Mead. Some of these are really hard to find. That's the caveat from the beginning. My third choice here is the Booker's. Now, I have the 1903 Country Ham. I think it's incredible. I've tried a couple of the other batches. Maybe didn't rock my world as much. Also, when I bought that bottle, it was around 70, and now they're creeping up into the 80s. They're starting to get around $85, $90 a bottle. So it's kind of knocking it down to third choice there. I think it's a great bourbon, okay? So, but my overall pick for this whole dang thing, let me say that one more time, is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Get them a bottle of that. Now, again, the Eagle Rare, the TX. Also, don't forget, if you do have a little more pinch and you don't really want to just buy a bottle from on a strict budget or the moderates, heck, go on ahead and get them a couple of bottles and do them a little gift basket, you know. But you can go back and review this video and see all the different bourbons that I've recommended, but that's it. Now, I love my dad this much, okay? These are all over 100 bucks. I do not review them on my channel. But the first one I have listed here, and these are very specific, okay? Very specific. The first one I have is from Wild Turkey, and it's Wild Turkey Master's Keep Revival, okay? It's around $140 if you can find it. That's a good one. Kentucky Owl Confiscated Bourbon, okay? It's around $140. It's like velvet on your tongue, okay? The Garrison Brothers Concierge Cask. Concierge Cask. It's around 150 bucks, but again, velvet. And then Beam Suntory, even higher than the Booker's, is called Little Book. And Little Book is a special project by Booker No when he was putting all that together. So it was like an offside project, and they're around 120 bucks. I've tried it once. It's good. I mean, you know, I don't spend that much money on bourbon. There's too much good bourbon in these categories down here, okay? There's too many good options in these categories to go out and break the bank. Now, every once in a while, I'll pick up a bottle from a private stash. I'll have it around, have some friends over, family over, something like that, pour a little up, and we'll enjoy a couple of snifters of it, and then I'll put it back on the shelf and let it collect more dust. So, those are my picks. I will put my first, second, third choices down in the description below in case you have any questions or you couldn't keep up. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this. So as always, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell down there for notifications, and I promise I'll keep bringing you these videos.